guys, welcome to the channel today. I was preparing some supper and for Stumpy and I thought I probably need to do a video on this because the thing about it is this is stuff that we have. You eating the carrot? Beckett here. See the carrot. These are things that I've gone out to the garden and gotten, and all but, well, everything that's going in this soup is something that we've grown on the farm, with the exception of the white beans, which I bought in bulk from Azure. So, I was looking for a different, I love any kind of white bean soup, or I was going to do some chicken and rice or something. Anyway, I got to looking for some recipes today, and I found this recipe, and it's a lemon chicken white bean soup. And so I had plenty of rabbit broth or chicken broth. I had some white beans, and I had boneless chicken back there. Go outside, let the boys, Levi and Beckett went out there and they picked me a few carrots. Beckett and I went out there and picked a few celery sticks from the garden. And then I went out there, of course, and gathered some spinach. Okay, so the recipe calls for me to saute my onions and my carrots and my celery in some olive oil. Well, my beans were dried, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to get them started cooking. And so what I went and did is I just went and got some broth, rabbit broth, two large jars of rabbit broth. I brought them in and I poured them in my pot. And I've got the beans already cooking over here so that they'll start to get tender there. And I went ahead, I had a bag of already cut up of our I think they're the Carta Blanca onions that we put up last year, the white onion. So I had just the right amount of onion to cut up in there. So I added that. So I've got my onion and my beans and my broth going over there. I went outside and gathered some celery and some onions. And I'm going to, instead of sauteing those, I'm just going to go ahead and add them. It's still a little while from dinner time, and so I'm going to let them go ahead and get in there and start simmering in there with the broth, and they should tender up really nice. So let me add those. I'm cooking some white chili bean soup with our carrots. Okay. Well, maybe it'll be done before you have to go. Yeah, maybe it'll be done. So let me give you the recipe that it calls. It's called lemon chicken white bean soup. It's a healthy soup, so it ought to be very, very good. But the ingredients is 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 2 celery sticks chopped small, half a medium onion chopped, 2 medium carrots peeled and chopped, 3 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of flour, 6 cups of chicken broth or rabbit broth, whatever you have, a 1/4 teaspoon of Italian dressing. This calls for a 15-ounce can of white beans. I had the dried white beans. I got them in there and got going. Let them cook. This recipe also calls for a 3/4 cup of uncooked macaroni pasta. I didn't want to add the pasta because that's just, I guess I could make some, but I don't want to do that. So I just added the beans. And then 2 cups, it calls for rotisserie chicken, but I had canned rabbit, so I'm just going to use that boneless rabbit. A tablespoon of lemon juice or more for taste. We'll see how, I read some of the comments and people don't like lemon juice in their soup, so we're going to see how that does. 2 cups of baby fresh spinach. I went out there and picked a strainer full of, let me show you, a strainer full of my spinach, and I have it clean. Look how pretty that is. I have it cleaned and ready, and then of course salt and pepper to taste, and so I'm just going to add my own little flair to it and get it going. So I will add some of my own homemade spices. I might even choose to add some of Sheila's homemade spices that she sent to us, because she has some Italian seasoning over there that she gave us, which is fabulous. So I might even try that, and that way it'll be completely, maybe not grown on our farm, but grown on a farm, and so that should be better. So I'm gonna let that cook and keep stirring. I'm gonna chop up my celery, not my celery, my spinach a little bit and get it a little bit smaller. But we're gonna, and then in just a little while we'll do a little flour broth to thicken it, and add that to there, and let it simmer. And then we'll definitely have to let you see what it turns out. It is pretty though once I added those carrots and celery. So let me show you what it looks like. And can you see in there? So you got the carrots, but I'll let these beans, I might add some more broth in there to let that those dried beans. The thing about dried beans is it takes them a little bit longer to cook. You know, if you've got, you know, a couple hours that you can let this simmer, boy, they'll be done in no time. But I think I'm gonna get some more chicken broth in there. Boy, that's gonna be good. I can't wait. We'll let that simmer there in just a little bit, and then let all those flavors get together. So let me go get some more chicken broth. Hey guys, I added some more broth to the beans. I've still got them boiling. They're not quite tender enough. Let's check them out here. They just started boiling again, and let's see. They are tendering up there. I'll go ahead and add my spices and let them be marinating in there with it. And surely in about an hour this should be done. I'll get the chicken in it. I don't want to add the spinach quite yet. I don't want it to get super smushy. But we will add it in just a bit. My camera. Bless it. But I still need to chop it up. I hadn't chopped it up. The boys just left and to go home. So, but I'm going to choose to use what that smells so good. What Sheila at Hoss Tools gave me, the little gift of Italian seasoning. Boy, it smells so good. It calls for a 1/4 teaspoon. I'll probably add a little bit more just to give it some good flavor. I'm going to also add a little bit more onion powder. Oh, she's got fermented onions. I might add them. Yes. She's got some garlic and onion seasoning. I think I'll add it too. Instead of, you know, the store-bought. Of course, I need to add some salt and pepper. And we got our Redmond salt. Add it. I'm going to let that marinate just a little bit, and then I'll try the broth, and if it's got a good flavor to it, I'm going to go ahead and add the chicken and the spinach and the meat, the rabbit, to the soup and let it simmer for a little while until the beans get done. Okay, so I've got my 2 jars of rabbit meat that I'm going to add to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain the broth into another jar, and that's what I'm going to add my flour to and whisk it together, and then add it to our soup, and it'll sit and thicken and marinate. But boneless rabbit, and we saw our video where Eric did it, and I mean, just a quick meal. You can go out there and get it. So I'm going to add this to the soup. I'm sure the rotisserie chicken would give it a smoky flavor. At this point, I'm looking for just a good meal that I can put together. Okay, I'm gonna pull them out and try and see if any of them, if they're tender. Let them cool just a little bit, because that's gonna be hot. But I need 2 tablespoons of flour, so I'll go ahead and get that in here and get it blended. And I'm just gonna shake this up and blend that flour in with that broth. Be a nice thickening agent once you add it to the soup. Let's check these carrots. Carrots are tender. Celery is tender. Beans need to go a little bit longer. Yeah. They're not crunchy, but I want them a little bit more mushy. I'm gonna go ahead and get my spinach chopped up. I want you to look at that. Beautiful green. Boy, that's pretty. That is so pretty. I'm going to show them kind of chop it up just a little bit. Not too fine. Because it's going to shrivel up once you put it in there. And I know it calls for two cups of packed fresh baby spinach. And this is not packed, but it'll probably, once it cooks down, be equivalent to 2 cups. Definitely fresh. You can hear it crunching as I slice it. I'm going to go ahead and start adding some. Let's check this out. Okay, so now I've got the spinach added. And the chicken's in there. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to let that simmer a little while longer. Come back and check the beans. If they're down to the tenderness that we want them to, then I'm going to add the thickening. First, let me get a spoon and sample the broth and see what the flavor of the broth is. Stubby said that's what's most important. It's a bit salty, but that's okay. Not too salty. You can definitely taste the onions. Yep, we'll let that marinate. Whew, that's going to be good. That's got a lot of flavor to it. Holy cow. Lots of flavor. Okay, I think I've let that simmer long enough. Let me check the beans on it one more time. I feel kind of tender. And see what they taste like. Yep. I think I'll add this and just let it simmer until Stumpy's ready to eat. Okay. We are done with the soup. It is very hot. But there's the soup. You get some carrots in there. You see the spinach in there. I didn't cook any cornbread in there. It didn't thicken up a whole lot. I did a little bit. But I bet you this will be good tomorrow. So, let's see how it goes. Stumpy, what do you think, Stumpy?
It's delicious.
Got a lot of flavor? Not been a rainy day, but the sun hasn't been out today, so this is a perfect day for soup, isn't it? It's getting colder outside today. That's good for the soul. Good, good, good. Let's go see Stumpy. He's sitting over here on the couch. Okay, Stumpy.
It's delicious. Very good. Sure is.
Yep.
Does my soul good to know that we grew most of it too.
And that was the purpose of my video, was to share another recipe with you that from the garden, you know, and stuff that we've raised here on the hill. It's healthy for you too, you know. It's got all of it. Oh man. Very good. I think I'll take some to Denise and let them try it.
Good though.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to point out is, you know, for this whole pot, and we'll have leftovers into tomorrow. But we probably, what, Stumpy? Wait, $5, you
Maybe
think?
$5.
$5. Let me just be fair and say $10. $10 in this meal.
Could have fed 8 people. Easy.
Goodness gracious, it could have fed eight people. And that's something Stumpy and I have been talking about. Hopefully we're going to start a series on, is it really cheaper to grow your own food as opposed to go into the grocery store or even going out to eat? And so we're trying to put together a series of that, and we hope that we can get it together and just see if it is possible. But
Oh, it's possible.
Steppy said, "Oh, it's possible," and so
Yeah. It's just way cheaper to cook at home than it is to eat out.
right, you can feed a lot more people. That's right. So, but very good, very very good, and with little or no expense in it whatsoever. Just a little bit of time, and it just does your heart good. Thank you for joining us here on this quick video. It's such a blessing, and there's something to be said about being able to go out into your garden, gather the food you need, and enjoy the benefits of processing, raising your own vegetables, your own meat, and having it here just to put a meal together for your family. I bet this will be good even tomorrow. Thank you for joining us today. And as Stumpy always says, a simple life is a much more enjoyable life. We'll see you on the next video.